there should be some sort of, say, like an equality, or some countries that have been developed, achieved a lot of development and economic growth, they have to have a share in the say in terms of political and economic say for what's going on right now. So I think that what we have is a comprehensive movement from different countries to counterpart what we do have since 1945, which is the U.S. hegemony, and also the U.S. and its allies' hegemony for the world economy and also for the politics.
Okay. Dr. Zenab, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so Doctor, I want to know from you, how does President Sisi's presence at this summit underscore Egypt's strategic priorities within the BRICS framework?
Of course, we have a strategic role. I mean, the speech of the President, Fattah Sisi, was eventually into the point, talking about the different challenges that the MENA region is witnessing right now, and the importance that there should be some sort of fairness by the countries of the world in dealing with the what's happening in Gaza and also in Lebanon. And I think that the speech of the President Fattah Sisi had a lot of messages, which is eventually needed to be also dealt with, because what we are having in the region right now, this shouldn't be the case, because it would lead to escalate of the conflict that we do have, given also the international conflict that we do have between different giant economies in the world. The importance of Egypt, this is very normal, because if we talk about Egypt, once we will have these civilization clashes, given the importance of the geopolitical importance of our location, the geopolitical also importance of Egypt, the economic importance, also being on the main routes of trade, the Red Sea and also the Mediterranean, the Suez Canal. I mean that eventually this is very normal, is that we have to be part of the BRICS. This is a historical thing that we are used to do. If we didn't find that there is some sort of not fair system in the international economy or in politics, we have to be in, and also we have, and this is very normal to be part of the BRICS given the development and the reforms that we have done.
So, Doctor, also, if we talk about the theme of this year's summit, which was strengthening multilateralism for just global development and security, how do you read the theme?
I think the theme reflects what we are having right now, that we're looking for fairness, we're looking for a new order of the world, and we are looking, of course, for development and developing the underdeveloped. I mean, the theme also, it has a big weight related to the developing countries, and also I see the theme also reflects the current situation of a lot of developing countries, which eventually harmed by this civilization clashes that we see right now. And what we can say that the international community, I'm not talking about the international community, which is the U.S. and its allies, because they will not do anything related to the developing world right now. But I mean, this is the theme what the BRICS is looking for, and this is what they would like to do for the other countries of the world that have been harmed by the current clashes worldwide or in the region.
Okay. Doctor, talking about Gaza, we have to mention that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi was very keen to meet with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas on the sidelines of the BRICS. So, with the escalations happening and the genocide war taking place in Gaza and now in Lebanon, how do you see the international efforts is there international efforts to end the outrageous escalations in the region and prevent a slide into a full-scale war?
Yes, what I see in terms of the international efforts to deal with the escalation of the situation in Gaza, we see what we do here in Egypt. We have done a lot of efforts. Also, we have some Arab countries, they have their role in a way or another. Some also countries have been, and also talk about the civil society around the world that try to have a role also to end this escalation. But eventually, it's challenging what we have right now, and we hope that what's happening in Gaza to end soon. But a lot of I can see that a lot of efforts, and Egypt has done a lot of good efforts, but from the other side of Israel, that we are witnessing, or we are seeing that there is no a positive action from their side, and we still have the genocide continuing in Gaza and Lebanon.
So, Doctor, also, to what extent Egypt's joining the BRICS group will help in boosting its economy?
Of course, being in part of this important, what we can say, it seems like a political and economic bloc. You can benefit from trade agreements, you can benefit from the transfer of technology. We have to put plans to ask FDIs to come into our land, whether from China, from India, from Russia. And I think we have a lot of economic potential coming out from that if we had just made the proper planning for so. And if we had we need to transfer what's going on into projects and into private investments coming into our country.
Okay, Doctor. How would you see the solidarity among developing nations actually, and the vital importance of forging closer South-to-South cooperation help address the ongoing global challenges?
South-South cooperation, this is not a new thing to appear. Whenever we have a crisis worldwide, whenever we have countries that don't listen, I'm talking about the developed ones, they don't listen enough to the needs of the developing world, we have this South-to-South cooperation. I see the BRICS, it's not South-to-South cooperation, because BRICS is about India, China, and also Brazil, those countries that they used to be not developed and then they became developed. It's not South-to-South cooperation, it is countries that used to be underdeveloped and became developed, and it's their right to have a say in politics and economics. South-to-South cooperation also needs to be strengthened given this crisis that we have, or the international crisis that we do have.
Okay, Doctor, also if we talk about Russia and to what extent Russia succeeded in convincing the BRICS countries to build an alternative platform for international payments that would be immune to Western sanctions and other Western sanctions and challenges imposed by Western countries.
Yes, this is a historical rule that Russia used to do. If you go historically, you'll see that since the 60s we have the Soviet Union is trying also to do like reunion with the developing world, and to also ask allies and different allies to join against the hegemony of the U.S. I think this is political, historical role that Russia has been doing, and then once again we see that because we are in a way or another of civilization clashes, as I said before. One of the civilizations that is clashing with the U.S. right now is Russia, and Russia in terms of the country. They are thinking of how to develop their nations and how to have a role worldwide, and also this is a historical and political thing that go back to the history. So I would say that once again it seems that the world would not be governed the same way that we used to have it since 1944. in other civilizations has to be in, and also for us in Egypt as the government. And also we see that the efforts of the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is trying to be in with the civilizations, because what we do have right now, I see, if you talk about the U.S. Hegmony and its allies, it's unfair what we do have on the worldwide scale, and also if we talk about Gaza and our other events that we do have in the region.
Okay, Doctor, with the closing session taking place on Thursday, we want to shed more light on the outcomes of the final or the closure of this summit.
Yes, the outcome, of course, of the closure of this summit, I would focus on the economic part of it. I see that supporting the developing world, having the role of the BRICS banks, this is very important for us that we can work on, talking about Egypt and looking for other and different tools for financing that. I see the closing part of it was like there is like a message that is devoted to the developing countries of the world, and also there is other messages, even from the way that we have this group photo of the president. You will see that even you will receive messages from the way of the group photo saying that it's not anymore the role of the U.S. to govern the world. It's other countries that should be in, and this is the right to be in, given their efforts of development. And for these countries, they would support other developing countries of the world, and they would support other countries that are members of it.
So, Doctor, also the newly expanded group has a combined population of about 3.5 billion, 4.5%, 45% of the world's inhabitants, and their economies are worth more than $28.5 trillion combined. Do you expect the BRICS will be a giant economic group that dominates the world in the coming future?
Yes, of course, given the current potential and resources, it would be. I mean, if there is a proper planning for economic cooperation, and also if there is more projects to be established, also transfer of knowledge between different countries, and given the big number of population, this is a resource, and this is a potential. So, of course, this is a huge potential to be used. We hope that the BRICS can do its role in the future in terms of economic growth towards the nations that they are part of this BRICS, and maybe for the rest of the world.
Okay, Doctor, what innovative financing mechanisms did President al-Sisi suggest to actually enhance the sustainable development funding for emerging economies?
Yeah, so we have the tools of the Bank of BRICS right now that are focusing on infrastructure investment and infrastructure financing, in addition to other priorities related to the innovation, food security. I see the good potential for dealing and also for financing the economic problems that some of the countries, members of the BRICS, are facing. And also, there will be no conditions, no conditions if you have taken the loan on different tranches. There will be no conditions. This is versus what we do have from the RNF, the conditionality, which is part of the huge restrictions on the developing countries and on their government.
So, Dr. Nawar, have BRICS nations managed to develop more trade links within the bloc, closer coordination among their banks, and better harmonization of their tax and customs procedures, or they need to make more cooperation procedures in the coming period?
Different agreements should be conducting for that.
Yes.
We cannot say that we will have this type of skills taxation and customs, and we cannot say that. There should be proper agreements between the different countries, even on if it's saying that on the scale of procedures, regulations, taxation, customs duties, this is what we call trade agreements. And this is the importance of this type of a trade agreement. So we have to work on that, to have different trade agreements with different scales and preferences to encourage trade between the members and countries members in the BRICS.
So as interest in joining BRICS has only grown, many developing countries are see the BRICS group as a useful vehicle to search for a geopolitical balance in the years ahead. So what's your comment on this? Do you think more developing countries will join the BRICS?
Would you please your question?
Yes.
Because the voice is not clear.
Yes. Do you think that as interest in joining BRICS has grown, many developing countries see the BRICS group as a useful vehicle to search for a geopolitical balance in the years ahead? So do you expect more developing countries to join the BRICS in the coming future?
Yes, it has been announced, but I need to make sure to ensure this, that maybe 35 countries or something would like to join the BRICS. This is very good, because the world and the whatever, I'll tell you something, wherever this type of conflict we do have in Gaza, and also the civil society is trying to do something related to Gaza and what's happening in Lebanon, and then they cannot do anything. And of course what's happening in other and different areas of the world. Of course, other countries, they are seeking some sort of cooperation between different countries, because they want to secure their country. They want to secure their food needs. They want to secure even their position, and they want to secure whatever economic benefits that they would get. So yes, in these clashes and in this, what we can say, a degree of, or not degree, this is happening, that the world economy and the political status worldwide is not stable. So this is very normal that other countries and other underdeveloped countries and developing countries, that they're seeking to be part of a bloc and to be part of China, India, Brazil, those countries that have managed to achieve economic development, and also Russia. So they are trying to be part of this important potential bloc, economic, political, and maybe military also.
Dr. Zenab Nawar, thank you for taking your time to be with us and to brief us about the summit and the outcomes of the closing session of the BRICS. Thank you for being with us, Dr. Zenab Nawar, Professor of Economy.
No proof in the ancient Egyptian history that the father married his daughter, a true marriage, for many consider the title of the great royal wife to be just an additional honorable title given to the royal daughters as a sacred thing. During the reign of King Amenhotep III and Akhenaton and Ramesses II, there is an absence of the title Hamet Neter, or wife of the god, or wife of the king. Some suggest that the title of Hamet Nesu was given to princesses instead of giving them the title of Hamet Neter. There isn't a solid proof that this marriage was not symbolic, for the princesses who took that title played the role of the goddess in some royal rituals, and it's also possible that the Queen Mother had a role in giving her daughter that title, for it's noticed that the Queen Mothers Ti and Nefertiti and Nefertari and Iset Nefret, whose daughters took that title, were prominent queens in the history of Egypt. The Queen Sat Amon, who is the daughter of King Amenhotep III and Queen Ti, had appeared with her daughter in a scene taking the title of Hamet Nesu, or King's Wife, while his wife was titled Hamet Nisu Weret, or the Great Royal Wife, in the same time. When Sat Amon appeared alone, she bore the title of Hamet Nisu Weret, which indicates that she was a deputy of her mother.